Welcome one, welcome all to the first playoff episode of the Ball is Bay podcast, your favorite NBA podcast in an Indian accent. First off, welcome back after a long gap. Vineet and I have been extra busy making excuses, but we're really glad to be back. And what a great first round series we've had so far. What do you say, Vineet?
I think it was probably one of the best first round series in a while. So
Yes.
yeah, really good. I caught up with most of the games because I was kind of jobless for the entire first round type.
Yeah,
So
please tell us a little bit more about that before we dive into the basketball. Like how you're back in Luxembourg, I guess.
I'm back in Luxembourg and I've been traveling a bit. So I went to France and Germany, which is not very far away from Luxembourg, but
Which I realized last time I called you.
and oh, by the way, I think also you should talk about how we almost had a episode last week or the
Yeah.
week before, and we
Uh,
we yeah you go for it, Ashwin.
should
Explain.
I go? I'll go for it. So I actually was gonna stump you with it, but now you have somehow stumped me into this. I was gonna put all the blame on you, but now the tables have been turned. So, faithful listeners, listeners from everywhere. Last week we had a beautiful setup arranged. It was, I think, just before the OKC Utah Game 6, and we had an entire 45-minute session. Like, we talked about all the things that would happen, and we kind of predicted everything except one or two series. And guess what? We realized that our audio wasn't recording at all. We realized that we had talked to each other 45 minutes, like talked about a lot, but nothing was on tape.
Oh God,
It
that is
was
great.
highly sad. Which again,
Yeah, man.
but then now Vineet, maybe you could tell them why you came to India for 2 weeks and yet we could not film a single episode. Maybe you could tell them about that.
Well, why I came to India for 2 weeks was for work. I had some important work to finish, some bank stuff, and I met Ashwin for like a fleeting moment, and then we decided we have to meet and meet and meet and meet, and by the time I think you went somewhere, right, for like a couple of days.
I think, yeah, somehow our schedule, like it was that sweet spot of not being able to meet. Like when
No,
I
I
was
think
there,
I
you
think
were
you
not
also
there.
left. You left to
I
some
did leave.
place.
I did leave. Yeah, I did leave for a while.
Yeah, and then by the time
Yeah.
you came back and you're like, hey, let's meet up, I'm like, I'm leaving.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and so it was not a very scheduled. I was supposed to leave almost 10 days after the day that I actually left, but yeah, but it was good to meet
But
Ashwin after a long time. Uh,
yes, great to meet you and the coffee as always.
yes, as always.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think there should be
yes.
some. We should, if we ever reach like 100 episode thing, then we should like rename
Hmm.
the podcast to some coffee and basketball or something like that.
Well, 100 is like a 90 more than what we've done till now. So, if we
I
have
think
some
it's
support, then
possible.
definitely we can go for
I
it.
think it's
It's definitely
possible.
possible.
I think it's definitely
Yeah,
possible.
definitely possible.
Now that you have been our podcast is getting shout outs on Instagram.
That is true.
Yeah.
Our shout out, our podcast did get a shout out on the Egg Factory India page.
Shout
Yeah,
out
there's
to
a small shout out to the Egg Factory India. Please go and follow their Instagram page. They're very good in India. So if you're listening to it in India, go and have a meal. You will not get anything free, but yeah, you'll have a good breakfast at least, like a champion breakfast. Okay. So, like you were saying before we veered off, great series, great first round series. Just one washout, unexpected Portland getting washed out, but there are two series in the East going to 7 games, going all the way to the seventh games, and in the end, like home court beating everything else.
yeah.
So, uh, I think we'll just go over a couple of the series. Should I go about my OKC rant now, or like should I
Yeah,
keep it
no,
for
no.
the end?
Let's start off with the
Oh
most.
my God! What a pathetic outing this time again. I can't believe it. Like I was gonna cry. People like playoff P. Is that the performance of someone who gave himself the nickname Playoff P? No wonder they were all laughing at that nickname. Playoff P. How can anyone be so horrible in a crunch situation? It wasn't even that difficult of a game. Like you expect Westbrook to make like just expect Westbrook to do everything on his own. Like all he wanted was little support, and we got two horrible exchanges for it. Carmelo Anthony, I've just given up on that fat Carmelo Anthony, but I at least had some hopes that PG-13 would show up. But no, neither did PG-13 show up, nor did Playoff P show up, nor did Steven Adams show up. Biggest disappointment so far for me, and nothing. And Billy Donovan, Billy D, like yeah, even though I'm not a Florida Gators fan, I think you should go back to coaching them. You cannot handle big egos and like big personalities in the NBA. You just can't do it. This is just disgraceful. Losing to a rookie who played out of his skin, but we just lost the close moments of the match, man. I want to shout out the ref also, stupid ref for doing that thing, but uh, yeah, I will not do that because I don't think that is why we lost the series. So I'm gonna spare the refs that particular embarrassment. But extremely bad play, extremely bad play. Like game 4 was one of the worst performances ever. Game 6 was one of the worst clutch performances ever, like fourth quarter performance ever. This is not the way that. I mean, you keep this team again going into the 2019 season. There is absolutely no way we'll win even a single game more than we did this season. It's not a matter of
Calm down,
adjustment.
calm down.
Last
Calm
time,
down.
it's not a matter of adjustment. It's just a matter of you need one strong voice in the locker room, and it cannot be Westbrook, sadly. Like, even though I'm Westbrook's huge fan, but Westbrook can't be the guy making these tough decisions. Like, he should not have to make all these tough decisions going into the fourth quarter. Okay, that's that. Yeah, that is my rant.
Okay, so I think the real question is Westbrook the problem?
I think Westbrook is the problem. It's not Westbrook is the problem. I think you can't have Westbrook as the number one guy because sadly, like
Isn't
extremely sad,
Westbrook and Allen Iverson the same?
yes, very similar.
And Allen Iverson, for all his accolades and for all he did, he was a horrible team player.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think if you look, if you look at his pure numbers, then he is like obviously he's a Hall of Famer and all, but he could not, like, he was just too much of a ball hog and like not a very good decision maker in the fourth quarter, and that has flown over to Iverson. I'm not saying anything bad about Westbrook because he is
The
like,
only
he
saving
is
grace of
very
OKC remaining.
true, but
Listen, man, I've been telling you this. You got to change your loyalty. See, you became an OKC fan because of Durant, right?
yes,
But you can't stick to OKC anymore because Durant's not there. So you got to move. And I think I think it's time for you because I think OKC, they don't have a system. They don't have anything. So I don't know why you're sticking to OKC other than the fact that
see, this is
you
one of
chose
those
them.
sad stories where I started following OKC because Durant used to play in OKC, and I started following Durant because Durant had like long arms like me, and he used to shoot the ball with his beautiful action, which is not like me, but still I was like, wow, what a great shooter, and what a thin guy, and what a great player. But once he made that switch to GSW, there was no way in hell I was going to support either GSW or Durant. So now I'm stuck with OKC and Russ Westbrook, who has I've seen at least 10-20 games in the past 2 seasons where one play I've been like, oh my god, what the fuck are you doing, Russ? What are you doing? And the next play, like, oh my god, what have you done, Russ? What is this great thing that you've done? Like, I have had multiple occasions of those sorts. So I think OKC just fits my sort of character. Like, I'm that kind of a guy. I'm not a
You like
team
the
first
drama.
ball
You
passing.
like the
I
drama.
love the drama.
You like the
Yeah, I
drama.
love I love not knowing. I mean, GSW, you know that most of the games they play, they will win. OKC, it's like, they could beat Warriors by 30 points one day. They could lose by 40 points to a rookie-led team in the playoffs also. So that's the drama which keeps me going. But you're right, like, it's taking a toll on my health, and yeah, I'm getting ridiculed for supporting OKC through all of this.
Man, you got to move. And I think Sixers are a good team. You can go for Sixers. Okay.
Sixers could work out. I mean, they played great this playoff.
Yes.
What do you think about the Sixers going to the conference finals? I mean, they are playing
Man.
Boston.
I think the Sixers are overrated.
Whoa.
I think the Sixers
I
are
don't
overrated.
completely disagree, but I want to hear what you have to say about the overrating.
Okay, first of all, like the Sixers haven't played a real good team in the playoffs yet. The
True.
Miami was a shitty team. Yes, they were well coached, but oh my god, come on, that team is shit,
That is shit.
right? And I look at their players. Joel Embiid is a really good player, and Ben Simmons is a really good player. But I still think they both are really overrated in terms of NBA and NBA media executives and all these people overhyping the next generation. Like when you see players like Donovan Mitchell, right? And when you see him play, you're just like, oh my god, this guy's good, right? And he earned the
The tag.
the
Yes.
tag of just being really good.
Breakout, yeah.
Whereas Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, they came in as like, oh, the next LeBron and next. So they are still kind of riding that wave, and obviously Ben Simmons is just crazy. I
Special.
mean, oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's special. Joel
He
Embiid
is
is
special.
okay. I mean, he's big. He does his thing. Uh, he's not as dominant as I would want him to be for his size and for what he can do. Uh, Ben Simmons, yeah, Ben Simmons is special. Ben Simmons, but you know, even a elite player, probably in the top five best players of NBA, LeBron James got got his ass smacked because he couldn't take a jump shot. I don't think someone like Ben Simmons is gonna survive a tough playoff series where real defenders and real defensive teams actually get to him. So I'm not I till I see Ben Simmons with a developed jump shot or at least a better solution for when he is just allowed to take a shot and he doesn't do it and he tries to like just try to penetrate inside. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. Uh, their perimeter shooting is basically JJ Redick, who is really good. Uh,
Yeah.
and
But they
but the
have
only
Saric also.
yeah,
They have.
the only player I think really who is underrated is Dario Saric. That guy is
I agree with
he's
that.
really
Yeah.
good. He
He's
does
good.
every yeah he's a very good stretch three I think or stretch four. I think
I
it's a
think it's a
stretch.
stretch 3. He's not big enough to be a 4. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it's a
square. He's 6'10",
stretch to call
6'9",
him
or
a 4.
6'10", right?
It's a stretch to call him a 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's it.
yeah. So but that's it. Then who else is there in the team? Robert Covington is okay. I
No,
mean,
but that's what
it's
I'm saying. See, the way I look at it, Embiid, I think is very good, and he can. It's the reason why I say Embiid is good is like he has his post moves and he can shoot the ball from outside. Not
yeah.
maybe regularly, but see now in the NBA, it's less of whether you can shoot the three, but whether you are immobile enough to go to the 3 point line and cover the guy. Now, if Miami does not have center is Whiteside, they can't play Whiteside in the team because he'll just get abused. He'll just get involved in the pick and roll. He'll be switched onto the smaller guy. Boom, boom, boom. Which I don't know why they play it like that. I mean, they still haven't done. What I'm saying is, at two positions of theirs, two positions throughout the league, I don't think there is a better center than Joel Embiid. So center position they have an advantage, and at the point guard position, I don't think there's. I don't think like most days I think Ben Simmons will have the advantage over the opposition point guard. So on two positions, I think clearly on every game they will have an advantage. If you check I mean, it was very obvious in the Miami series, but there Embiid didn't even play much. And I've heard that Embiid is not even going to play the first game of the Boston series. The thing what I'm again trying to say is they have two very good players, like really good players, and they have a good bunch of defensive stoppers and like these 3 point JJ Redick extremely important for the team. Like without JJ Redick they're not winning. Like even if you have these two players without JJ Redick you are not winning
Yeah,
because
you need instant
when
offense.
because when Simmons can't drive, like Simmons can drive, but if Simmons is like they back off Simmons and ask him to shoot, he has to pass the ball off somewhere, and JJ Redick is the best shooter that they have. I think the Sixers have a very good chance of reaching the finals. I think that if somehow LeBron manages to beat the Raptors, which if he does that, it will be the greatest feat in NBA history altogether. But if he manages to get there, he is not going to get past the 76ers. Because if he does that, then that's it. Like, we might as well tell Michael Jordan, you are number 2 of all time. There is
Okay,
no way.
all right, relax,
Oh,
relax. Okay, calm down. Okay, firstly, for the first 7 or 8 years of LeBron James' career, he had a much more shittier team than the team he's actually getting right
true,
now,
true.
right?
But
And his opponents were much more better
no, the
than.
East was shit back then. What do you think?
What do you mean? You had the Orlando Magic, you had Boston Celtics, you had Pistons, Detroit Pistons.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't very, uh, you know,
Easy
very
for him to get to the.
easily,
Yeah.
yeah, easy to, and he still got to the finals twice.
Yeah.
So, sorry, once in
Once.
2007, where he got swept by the Spurs. But I mean, he went against Boston Celtics, like I think twice in the Eastern Conference Finals. Boston Celtics team won. They won once in the finals. They didn't win the other finals. Then he went to the Eastern Conference Finals, where he came up
Lost
with
to
Orlando
Orlando.
Magic.
Yes.
Lost to Orlando.
Yeah.
So honestly, the Orlando Magic team, the Boston Celtics team, they are much better than the 76ers team right now. Way, way better. All right. And they're way better than the Boston Celtics team right now. They're way better than the Raptors team right now. So for me, I just feel like we forget, or we take the greatness of LeBron James for granted, because we just want some drama in our life. We just forget what he's done before. And like I said, that's why I feel he's stat padding. Like, he knows he can get
Okay,
to the
okay, wait,
conference
whoa,
finals.
whoa, 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 whoa. See, you can't just say such thing without giving our audience a little feed idea into what you're talking about. Ladies and
Okay. Oh,
gentlemen,
sorry.
Vineet is saying that. Please go ahead. Like, now,
All right. So this is my hypothesis on LeBron James right now. So LeBron James for sure knows he's not winning the championship, right? He's not winning the
definitely,
championship.
like, he's up
And
against it.
so for him, knowing his business opportunities that he needs and so on and so forth, it would really make sense for him to just say, you know what, screw it, let's just throw the towel in. This team is not going to take me anyway to the finals. And for him right now to be called the greatest player of all time, it's just a matter of getting those 3 more extra rings. Like, nothing else is going to help him, like, to be called the greatest player, other than having
6 rings.
amazing stats. And that's the reason why I think he's dragging a series with Pacers to the 7 games. He could have finished it maybe in 5 or 6. Have you seen him play these days? He seems disengaged. He doesn't try to win the ball game every single time like the way he used to before.
So would you say he's
and-
leaving?
Would I say he's leaving? Absolutely, he's leaving.
Absolutely. No doubt
Absolutely.
whatsoever.
No doubt whatsoever. Why will you stay in Cleveland? He
'Cause
has
it's
he
home.
has no, he has like a good 5 more years, right? Let's say he plays till 38, or 38 he plays really well. And for the next 5 years he can be a top contributor in a team. Maybe even the first line of offense and defense, right? With this Cavaliers team, it's not going to happen. He has to go join some other team that is going to is compete with both Houston and Golden State, and that's not going to happen in Cleveland. So he has to go join, I think, some Eastern Conference team or the Spurs. Even LA, I don't think fits his criterion, even if Paul George and Kawhi Leonard go there, because it's going to take 2 or 3 years for them to really come up to the level.
Yeah, which
where
is
they are
something,
beating
which
the
is a
Golden
luxury
State.
I don't think LeBron can have. Like, he needs to go to
So
a
LeBron does,
fit
yeah.
team.
So
right
LeBron
now.
does, yeah. LeBron does not have that luxury, and for all that he has tried to do in Cleveland, and which I give him a lot of credit for, and he won a championship for them. I think whatever he owes Cleveland is taken care of, and now he has to follow his greatness, and now there's only one person ahead of him in terms of being the greatest player of all time, like, clearly. You can make an argument for who is better or no with the others, but to make a clear demarcation with Magic Johnson or Michael Jordan and the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, he got to earn more than 3 rings. So if I was him, I would be like, okay, you know what? I could have 3 rings and have the best stats in every other category,
And
and
that'll
that
still
would
keep me in
be
the conversation.
that will still keep me in the conversation, right? Because people will see the fact that he actually didn't play with very good players like the other players. Like Michael Jordan is probably the only player who didn't have an extremely strong team with him. Like Kobe had Shaq for the first three. So, so, in that sense, LeBron never had that player, right? Maybe Dwayne Wade. You
Dwayne
could
Wade,
consider,
maybe, yeah. I mean, Dwayne Wade
maybe,
was not the Flash when he joined there, but yeah, Dwayne Wade and Chris
yeah,
Bosh, you could still make an argument for that.
you could still make an argument. And he won when he
Yeah,
had good players with him. He won when he had
yeah,
Kyrie. He won.
he won.
So, I think for him, maybe he realizes that like he just he can't do it alone, and he needs a good sidekick. And in Cleveland, there is no sidekick, and no one is going to come there to be a sidekick, because the only valuable two players that are out there are Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
Yeah,
So unless
speaking of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, I mean, I guess the talks of a transfer to the LA are a little premature, but something has to happen. Like, this could be a really big summer. I mean, do you see Kawhi Leonard staying in? But like, you can answer that later. We can talk about the playoffs right now, like the ones that are happening right now. We have Houston versus Utah. We have Warriors versus Pelicans.
Houston is going to eat Utah for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Exactly. So I was thinking that there have been people who are saying, it could be little close, it could be close. It cannot be close at all, because the way Houston plays is just scoring baskets. So score, score,
Yeah.
score, 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 score. They're going to beat you by just scoring much, much more than you. And that's the only way that
Yes.
they know how to play. And they have good scorers also. It's not like
Yes.
the OKC, sadly I have to say it, but it's not like OKC where, you lock down one player and basically the entire team falls apart. Which
Yep.
very not paradoxically, which is very similar to what Warriors and Pelicans are. Pelicans were on a huge roll. They were thinking, oh my god, we beat the Trailblazers. We're gonna make light of this Warriors also. Again, Trailblazers play the exact opposite of the Warriors. Trailblazers are a very backcourt heavy team, but their backcourt is extremely isolated. I mean, isolation dependent team. Like Lillard will
Yeah.
ISO, McCollum is ISO. The Warriors will almost literally never ISO on you. They will move the ball this
Yep.
side, they'll move the ball that side. All your defensive prowess, individual defense will count for nothing, because you'll need to play team defense. You'll need to call out screens from the left side, from the right side, from the front side, from the back side. These two series, it could just be like clean sweeps in my head. But one thing I must say is, I saw Donovan Mitchell during that game 6. I saw him during game 5. That dude is real. That is one special dude. Even though he carved up a really, like, not the league top defense, but the way he did it, like way he didn't shirk from the responsibility, like his confidence, he did not back away from it. Like, that was special, very very special to watch. Like, I think he's going to be a great talent in the future, and like, we're lucky that we saw this series out of him in his rookie year against OKC.
Oh
Like,
my God!
yeah,
Look at you being the bigger person there.
yeah, man. Like, some of the things he did during that game were not fair. Like, they're just not fair. They just
Yeah.
want
No, he's very good driving to the basket, and yeah, very
making
good.
decisions. I think it's his decision making which is underrated also, because not only is he like brave going into these occasions, he knows this is my chance to shine. Like, I think he would be perfect for Spurs. I can't believe I'm saying this, but he would be like absolutely killing on the Spurs team. Like, him and LaMarcus, all your problems would be solved.
Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah, okay. Anyways, yeah, I agree with you. I think Donovan Mitchell is good. He's excellent. I still think he's people don't take him that seriously yet, so they don't really defend him that well. And I think that's when the problem is going to come in. But for now, I think he's really good. I think both Houston and Golden State are going to win their series very easily. Mostly because I mean, those guys are too good. they are high percentage scorers, which makes it even more difficult when they are shooting so much.
Their
They are
pace is
quick, they
high.
are fast, their pace
Yeah.
is higher, and if you try to play with their pace, you're gonna
You're
lose.
gonna lose badly.
Uh,
Yeah.
Lose really badly, and I think that was probably the first thing the Pelicans learned was that shit,
Exactly.
we can't play the pace that the Warriors play because Warriors, every player is probably a 50% shooter,
Yeah.
probably, right? Durant, Clay,
Because they take good
what?
shots.
They
Because
take very good shots.
they
Yeah,
will not
yeah.
take a bad shot. Yeah. I mean
They will not take bad shots.
that's it done right there. Like the series is over right there, I
Oh,
think.
all right, all right. This is what the Spurs have been doing for ages, so don't teach me this thing.
I'm not teaching this.
Okay?
I'm just telling you Spurs are playing at a level, running these plays. Warriors are running this same sequence at a much higher pace. Like that's the thing. Like
Not
they just
not at
getting
a
more
much
possessions
higher
out.
pace with much better players, much
Definitely.
better shooters,
Also,
much better shooters.
also. Yeah.
And man, I'm telling you, dude, Clay Thompson is the reason the Warriors are the Warriors. Like I feel there is no other player in the league that needs the ball for less time to score that much.
Definitely.
Like when you see him, he's just running off a screen like catch, shoot, catch, shoot, catch.
That's
It's
true.
like
It's
I
unfair.
think it's unfair, man.
Unfair.
Like
Yeah.
whoever guards him, right, has to go back home crying. Like I love defense and I love defending people, but I hate defending such kind of people
Yeah.
who just as soon as the ball touches their hand, they just go up and it's like automatic.
Yeah. It must have
And
reminded
Clay
you of
Thompson.
me. Like I didn't want to bring it up, but like probably reminded you a
No.
little bit of like when you had to run to get me, but the ball was already off, and you were like, "Oh my God, not again!" Swish, I
Yes,
can
but
hear
it
it.
never
Oh,
it never went into the basket though.
almost always went into the basket. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but yeah, it's all right. But yeah,
Uh,
yeah, it's playoff time, but can still not talk about the Warriors because Warriors.
okay, well, it's
Houston
true.
again. I think yeah, but on the East, Toronto, Cleveland, Boston, Philadelphia. I think we talked a bit about Boston, but Cleveland. You think they can get out of the of Toronto series? Because Toronto not only
Yes,
has home court
yes.
advantage, which is has proved to be very crucial, but like they are an iffy team in the playoffs though.
But have you it this reminds me of the Bleacher Report thing. Have you seen the House of thing where
Game of Zones.
the Game of Thrones or Game of Zones?
Game of Zones. A shout out to the Game of Thrones Zones, one of my favorite web series of all time. Like their inside
Yes.
jokes and Easter eggs are hilarious. Please check it out if you've not checked it out yet. Game of Zones. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, then you should definitely check it out. But otherwise, yeah, I don't think it'll make much sense to you.
No, it will make sense. It's basketball anyways. But the point is, you have seen this thing where, every year someone comes and say, tomorrow there's gonna be a new king in the East.
Oh boy.
And I just LeBron is like, didn't we do this last
Yeah,
year? And honestly, that's what it feels to me. Like
yeah.
he has so much confidence, and
Uh,
he's just like, all right, again, again, again.
But come on, man. How could you like they have this is literally one of the worst teams he's played on Cleveland since when he had Zydrunas, Ilgauskas, and a bunch of Davy Jones and
And
people like that, Damon
and
Jones,
he took that team to the
to the
finals,
finals. True, I agree. But
and he
there were a
got
lot of
swept.
yeah. I mean, if he does the same thing, he's again gonna get swept. It's not like let's not pretend that he's gonna
Yes,
go and
he's probably gonna win
create
one
havoc.
game.
Um, yeah, I don't think so.
LeBron is
I
gonna
think they
win
all
one game.
where versus in the final,
Yeah, in the finals,
in the NBA finals. Oh, okay.
NBA finals. Yeah.
I think I think he's too tired. I'm gonna make a prediction that he's not gonna get to the conference finals. Also, he's gonna lose to Toronto. It'll be a Toronto 76ers Eastern Conference Finals. The King will be dethroned this time because this time he seriously is older. He has to do all the scoring for himself. He's not that active on defense anymore. And you can't have a 33-year-old guy be the major part of his scoring. The other, I have to shout out one guy for negative reasons. Like Jordan Clarkson, I expected you to be so much better. Like I expected you to take over some more responsibilities, but like John Clarkson has been a real disappointment. I think he was doing good just because he was in the Lakers. Like he was a good player on a bad team. But now that he's expected to do a little bit more, he has shirked from the responsibilities. He has just completely undergone shrinkage.
Mm.
A Seinfeld term. Shout out to Seinfeld.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Phase.
I also still don't understand why the other teammates are so bad because on paper it looks good. Kevin Love, George Hill, J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson, Jordan Clarkson,
Larry Nance.
Larry Nance
Larry
Jr.
Nance.
Like on paper they look good.
But
Jeff
they're just
Green, but Jeff Green
young.
is injured, right?
Jeff Green is not injured. Jeff Green is just bad. And Rodney Hood. I mean, they sent
Rodney
out
Hood,
all the old people, got some fresh blood. But the problem is this fresh blood
Kyle
isn't that good.
Korver. Like
Kyle Korver, yeah,
on paper their team looks so
very
good.
decent. Yeah,
Very decent and like enough to support LeBron. Like they can score on themselves. Like Kyle Korver can score, Jeff Green can score. Like I don't know, J.R. Smith can score. Kevin Love was a double threat. Even last year he played really
Kevin
well.
Love is still a double threat. But I mean, I think it'll be
Very
like
low double threat.
10 points and like 15 rebounds. That'll be a score. Like you need more
Yeah.
scoring. There is no scoring, man. Like you need more scoring.
Yes. So that's my thing. It's like the only way Toronto can win is if Toronto plays out of their mind and they somehow don't fall into the LeBron trap, which is I'm going to stick around till the end, and then in the last 6 minutes, I know no one can stop me.
Yeah, he did that yesterday also. Well, yesterday
Yeah,
he
that's the
was
LeBron.
that's the
That's
LeBron
the LeBron
scenes.
trap. He makes sure that the team is kind of there, is not getting blown out till till the last 6 minutes, and then he's just like, all right, now it's the LeBron time.
Let's do it.
So I think that's yeah. I mean, I still think the finals is going to be Cleveland and 76ers, but I don't know. Me, I have a good feeling about Boston.
But what a series by Boston, beating Milwaukee without Gordon
Oh,
Hayward
come
or.
on,
Uh,
come on! I told you they're going to win.
when did you say that?
I
Or you're
told you. I
missing
told you.
episode?
I predicted Boston. I told you that unless and until Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo not become mad Giannis Antetokounmpo,
Antetokounmpo.
he's not, yeah, Bucks are not going to win. Like he has to be averaging 30, 32, 33 points a game.
True. Yeah, I think they missed that. Yeah.
Yeah, he has to do that, and it's the same with Davis, right? Like, however good the others are playing, Davis has to score 35. Like, it's just I don't understand why these amazing talents are not like, okay, I need to score, I need to dominate. They don't have that thing, and come on, Anthony Davis can easily score 35. He can easily score 35. But I think they get a little like ball shy, they get a little responsibility shy, they don't want to take the blame on themselves. If they lose, they'll be like, oh, you were ball hogging. No, I mean, you are the best player, you're not going to win by you playing 20, making 22 points, and everyone else you have to make 35 points, and then
Yeah.
trust your teammates to do their 10 or 15 per player. I mean, that's how it works. And especially with if you're playing against Golden State, where Kevin Durant is going to throw 30 and Klay Thompson are going to pour 30 on you without a doubt. And
Without
now
any effort, also.
yes, and now Steph is going to come and put in a 20 extra. So you
Yeah.
have to think of at least getting 80 points. Like, close your eyes and think, who am I going to get my 80 points from? For sure, 100%.
The answer is no one. There is,
And
unless
then
Jordan comes back and plays for the Pelicans. There is no one on
yeah.
that team who can score consistently against the Warriors. There is absolutely
Yeah,
no one.
so if you just think of that, then like Anthony Davis, okay, if they need 80 points, I'm going to give at least 35, like at least 35, 100%, 100%. I'm going to get it at a 50% rate. So then you start from there, and then hopefully Mr. Collison hits a 30, Nikola Mirotic hits a 20 something. I don't know, like you got to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
that's the only way they'll win. They're not going to do it, but you're right. That's the only way they can win. If somebody, like all these people decide to go off in one day because they can get that one victory. Because, yeah, it is just extremely lopsided. I guess we can wait for the West Finals because that'll be a series that will be interesting to watch with Houston having home court.
you know what? I really don't know.
You don't think Houston has done
I
enough
don't think
to...
No, Houston hasn't done. See, the way the Warriors win, I mean, yes, the three-point shot is their weapon of choice, but that's not it, right? Like
No,
that's
they
not the
also
only
great
thing.
defensive team.
They are great defenders, and the best part is all the players in their team are shooters,
Hmm.
right? Like there is nobody in their team, maybe other than that tall guy, I forgot his name, JaVale
Zaza
McGee
Pachulia.
and Zaza Pachulia, and the other guy, what's his name, Keenan or Keevan or whatever his name is.
Uh,
Other than those three, everybody can shoot.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah, it's a league of shooting now.
there,
I mean, yeah, it doesn't.
yeah, there is no non-shooters. There are no like no non-scorers on that team. So I think that's the biggest thing, and they are all unselfish. They play team basketball. They play defense. They respect the coach. I mean, it's difficult
It's
to
difficult to beat a team like this, but we will see. Check out the West Finals. I guess it'll be in. This is getting over. Yeah, I think second week of May. If
yeah.
this series ends in 4 or 5 games, then second week of May it will be. Even
Yeah, I
otherwise,
think
I
these are
guess.
going to sweeps. I mean, I don't see it. Maybe Utah may
Maybe
come back. I don't know.
maybe one game.
I mean,
Yeah, one game is
yeah,
possible because I did not give the Wizards a chance to win even a single game, but they won 2 games. So that pride thing probably, like stirs up something in
yeah, but
people.
Utah doesn't have any prideful players. That's the thing.
Well, maybe at home they can do something. Maybe. Who
Yeah,
knows? But
yeah. I think 4-1,
I guess we,
4-1.
yeah, I guess we'll have to see 4-1, 4-0 because, yeah,
I,
but 4-1,
I,
4-1,
I, I
4-1, 4-1.
I think the Pelicans are getting get swept for sure.
That's what
Pelicans
I
are
was
going to get
thinking.
swept because Steph Curry is going to come back, and that's it. It's the end of the story for them, right?
Yeah.
And I think Utah may take one because James Harden will get lazy as always and he'll be like, ugh, I don't want to play, and you know, and I think that's going to be one game. Yeah, and it's this Golden State Warriors versus the Cavaliers finals, man.
Wow, that is a bold prediction. I'm going to go with the Houston Rockets versus the Philadelphia 76ers for the NBA crown, which will end in a 4-0
Oh,
sweep, but that's a different point altogether.
all right, we'll see. We'll
We'll
see,
see.
man. We'll see.
All right. That's the end of this episode. Hopefully, you guys will get to hear it soon. Thank you, Vineet, for making time for this. We gotta do one more before this round of conference semifinals is over, unless it all gets swept over.
Yes,
You can,
yes, for
yeah.
sure. Before
All
this is
right.
done, we'll do one more. Yeah.
Perfect. All
All
right,
right,
ladies
dude.
and gentlemen, this is all we got for us. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back with episode 12 soon. Vineet, say bye.
See you, man. Bye bye. Bye, everybody.